What's going on YouTube? OCD for EDC here, and I've got something really special for your face balls today. We are going to look at 3 Tucson knives, and these 3 are all newer models from Tucson, and they are ranging in price. We're going to call this a budget model, even though all of these, in comparison to the rest of the knife industry, are budget models. But for within Tucson, this here is a budget model. We're going to call this guy here a mid-range, and this one here a high-end. So what we're looking at is the Tucson TS165. This one here is called the Oval. This is a G10 model. It is contoured and textured G10. You got a deep carry pocket clip. It is a stainless steel liner lock knife, and it is a Wong design, and it's rocking 14C28N. This model comes in several different configurations, which we'll talk about here in a moment. This knife here is a newer model, also sporting 14C28N. And this is the Tucson TS186 KingFisher. This is a design by Mazwan Mokhtar. And you can see here that this is one of the first Tucsons that I've seen that doesn't have the big Tucson logo on the blade. Like you see here on the 165. The 186 only has the blade steel. I just stabbed myself in the thumb right there. Only has the blade steel marking right there. So look at that. Stabbed myself right in the damn thumb. Anyway, and then here we're looking at the Tucson TS177. This is a design collaboration between Tepe Design and Night Morning. This is obviously a titanium frame lock, rocking M390 blade steel, and just an absolutely gorgeous knife. Textured titanium, deep-ish carry pocket clip, and I guess stabbed myself in the thumb and forgot all about what I was doing. So this one here is also titanium frame lock. You have these carbon fiber inlays. They are shred carbon fiber, which looks really beautiful. You have not a deep carry, but deep-ish carry pocket clip. You know, you're looking at something like that sticking out. And this one here is a beautiful front flipper, as well as has the deployment hole. So we're going to talk about each one of these knives, but to start out here, let's do some size comparisons. So first things first, we'll throw out a couple of Spyderco's. So here they are against the Spyderco Manix 2 and the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. Oop. Try to line all these guys up here. So you can see there kind of what we're talking about for overall length. All right. And then the Benchmade Super Freak and the Benchmade Bug Out. So there you go. So these are all, fairly full-size knives, but I'm going to run down the specs on them real quick, and then we're just going to get into this deal here. So we'll start out with the TS165. So what you're looking at here, like I said, G10, stainless steel liner lock, 14C28N blade steel, and we're looking at an overall length of 8.63 inches. You got a handle length of 4.86 and a blade length of 3.77. A handle thickness of 640 thousandths, and that is measuring on top of the ridges here. But, that's the overall handle thickness. Blade stock is 143 thousandths, and this thing is a really nice flat ground blade. Kind of like a saber grind. I mean, it's a tall flat grind, but it's not a full flat ground blade. You got this really nice swedge across the top, and then these different kind of choil areas up here. But behind the edge thickness on this guy ranges from 13 to 14 thousandths. So really nice. You can see the secondary bevel there is very, very small. And most of the time, Tucson's, I haven't checked this particular one, most of the time they come somewhere between 15 to 17 degrees per side on the secondary bevel. So for a blade length of right around 3 3/4 inches, or just over that, we'll get a weight on this guy real quick. So 4.47 ounces. So not bad for a nice budget knife. And this particular knife right here, you can purchase this guy. So real quick, all of these knives are going to have links in the description. So if you want to buy any of these knives, check out the links in the description. This particular knife, there are 3 different models of this knife. There are 2 budget versions of this knife. There's this one here that's called the Oval, for obvious reasons. And then there's another one that's called the TS165 Pain, and it's still black and white layered G10, and it's just a different milling pattern. It's got some holes through the handle, just looks a little different, but still, like I said, black and white layered G10. The handle shape is identical. It's just got some different texturing and some holes down the middle of it. And then there's another version of this that's full titanium and M390 blade steel. So the full tie version and M390, that one sells for $128 on Amazon. This particular version right here with 14C and G10 sells for $45. And, you know, compare that to Civivi knives and whatnot. This is what Civivi was trying to do in the beginning. Now, the reasons that I like this knife so much, I actually have the full tie version. I don't have it with me right at the moment. BJ Hill over at Hilltop Knives and Gear, I loaned him some Tucson, so he actually has that knife right at the moment. But this thing here is possibly the best budget knife I've ever had in my hands. This thing, the fit and finish is spectacular. It's a beautiful knife. Fantastic full deep carry pocket clip. You've got a lanyard space back here that's integrated into the back spacer with the standoff right there. Just amazing construction. Blade is super slicey. Tucson does an excellent job with the 14C. And just to give you an idea, this is an older Tucson budget model. This is the TS16. And still the black and white layer G10. It's very textured. It's contoured. Very nice in the hand. This model here happens to be D2. But really what I wanted to show off was this was the pocket clip that Tucson used on all of their budget knives prior to current day. This is the pocket clip they've gone to, and it is a massive upgrade. This pocket clip worked kind of. You know, you had this much knife sticking out of your pocket. Was not a big fan of this clip at all. It not only does it not look very good, it didn't function all that great. On all of them that I had to bend this tip down because it dug into your hand really bad. Just not a great clip. This is a great clip. It's fantastic. This hole right here, you know, I know it's there for the screws, but it gives you a really nice positive traction to pull the knife out of your pocket with the full deep carry. You know, you slide your thumb in, grab it just like this, comes right out. It's got enough ramp. It's got really good retention. And even on this textured G10 here, which it's actually smooth, it just has these ridges in it. And like I said, it's contoured. This thing is an ergonomic champion. It is just gorgeous in hand. And actually, prior to shooting this video, I asked my wife, because she has much smaller hands than I do, and this she loved in hand. So even though this has these kind of dedicated finger grooves, it works beautifully in my hands, and it works beautifully in hers as well, which are, you know, way smaller than my hands are. So this is a great knife that I think will work. If you're looking for a full-size budget knife, in my opinion, you cannot do better than this knife for the money. I don't care what you buy. I have not seen a knife that is on this level of construction with these materials for under $50. So, you know, Civivi brought out some stuff in the beginning with some 9CR and G10 that was like around that $40 mark. But I have a few of those, and they are not this nice. They just aren't. I mean, they're nice, don't get me wrong. But, you know, most of the Civivi stuff has went up into the $75 range now. So in a moment here, we're going to pull all these apart so I can show you the build quality. All of these knives are riding on ceramic ball bearings. They have ceramic detent balls. All of them have got detent ball ramps ground into the blades. They have surface ground washers that have races milled into them for the bearings to ride on. Action is just gorgeous on this knife, and it's just a beautiful knife. You can't. I don't care what anyone says. In my opinion, you cannot do better than this for $45. You just can't. So it's ground beautifully. It's a good steel, good materials. And like I said, we'll tear into this guy here in just a few minutes, and you'll see how easy it is to take these guys apart. So this knife here, the 186 KingFisher, gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Again, link will be in the description. You can purchase this guy right now. Front flipper, shred carbon fiber, grade 5 titanium. It has micro milling lines in the titanium. It's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful in hand, very ergonomic. It's got a crowned spine on the blade. Really, really nice chamfering. And it is a beautiful front flipper with perfect geometry. It works beautifully. If you ever had any reservations about a front flipper, this is one to get right here, because some of them don't work very well. Just the geometry is off and they're hard to manipulate. This one right here is beautiful in the right hand and the left. Just absolutely gorgeous. And of course, because it has the blade opening, it's flickable. So you've got the front flipper as well as the opening hole there that you can either thumb flick or finger flick. So just an absolutely gorgeous knife. Milled titanium pocket clip, contoured scales. You got the micro milling lines. And, you know, some people complain about the billboarding on the blades. This doesn't have any of that. It does have some fingerprints. You got a beautiful satin flat ground blade. All you have, like I said earlier, is the steel text there on the blade, and I'm totally fine with that. And I'll show you, it's actually wrote inside this knife, the Tucson and the maker's mark and all that stuff. So just an absolutely amazing knife for the money. And this thing sells, like I said, links in the description, so check them out. $106 is what this knife costs. You can buy it right now today for $106. Ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball, detent ramp, hardened steel lock bar insert. Absolutely beautiful. Just an amazing knife. All the hardware on all these knives are all T8 with the exception of the hardened steel insert. Those are T6s, but the rest of the hardware is T8. And so real quick, the dimensions on this guy. Overall length, 8.19 inches. You got a handle length of 4.795. Got a blade length of 3.395. Handle thickness, not measuring here. You can see that the pivot, because of the pivot collar, it's a little wider. But handle thickness is just over half of an inch at 540 thousandths. Got a blade stock of 143 thousandths. And this thing is beautifully ground. It's 13 thousandths behind the edge all the way across. Just absolutely gorgeous. Amazing knife. And love the design. Pockets well. Pocket clip has got good ramp. They even chamfered the end of it so it's not sharp in any way. You got the lock bar relief cut is internal, which is something that I really love. And blade centering is perfect. Like I said, the blade is crowned. That's just a gorgeous looking knife. And you can buy it for $106. Just amazing. And the steel is well done. Grade 5 titanium. I mean, if this knife was offered by Benchmade or Spyderco and made this exact same way, this would be a, you know, $250 or $280 knife, and it's $106. It's unbelievable. All right, last one, real quick. This is the TS177 collaboration between Night Morning and Tepe Designs. Gorgeous knife. You can see right there, M390. You've got this heavily milled titanium scales on both sides. Really beautiful, really interesting knife. This guy here, you can, you know, it's a flipper and you can finger flick it. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, ceramic ball bearings, ceramic detent ball, hardened steel insert, detent ramp, all the stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And this knife, the chamfering and stuff, this is one of the best knives I've ever handled, period. I would put this knife up against anything out there. And if you're looking for a textured titanium frame lock flipper in M390, you fit, finish, quality, you're not going to do any better than this. It doesn't matter what production company you go to. I put this knife up against any of the Riot stuff. It's that good. It really is. If you like this design and style, it doesn't get any better. The only knock I have on this knife is there's ever so slightly, just a tiny bit of recurve in this blade right here. Now, I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know if I can show it off here. Let's see if I can, if you can see that. Just ever so slightly, there's a little bit of recurve in that blade. I have not sharpened this on actual stones. I've just only stropped it since I've had it. I've been carrying this knife quite a bit for the last several weeks. I love this knife, and it's stropped up beautifully. So let's go through the dimensions real quick. Got an overall length of 7.95 inches. Got a handle length of 4.56. Blade length of 3.39. Handle thickness is exactly a half of an inch. Blade stock is 156 thousandths. And this one is 15 thousandths behind the edge, but does get thicker out here at the tip. You can see here we got a beautiful swedge going across the top of the blade there. Every surface on this knife is well chamfered and rounded off. You got kind of a crown spine. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous knife. So, in the interest of time, we are going to pull these guys apart really quick. I probably will not put them, or well, I can, I guess. We'll just see how quickly I can blow through this. Like I said, all the hardware to disassemble the knife is T8. The hardware is beautiful. They don't come Loctited. There you can see the internal milling, hidden screw on the pocket clip. Pocket clip on this guy is beautiful in and out of the pocket. Ceramic detent ball. Just absolutely gorgeous. You got an internal blade stop. And here is the knife. You can see the detent ball ramp right there. And I'm just going to leave this kind of together so I can blow through these really quickly. There's your ceramic nylon caged bearings. You got the back spacer with a locating pin and then the body screw there. So it's just a simple 2-screw construction. And then there is your bearing race. It's a hardened steel bearing race. And yeah, all the Tucsons have that, and it's just beautiful. Or all the titanium Tucsons, I should say. All right, so you'll see here, and I'm just trying to blow through this quick and get through them. But so there'll be links up in the description for this guy as well. You can purchase this knife right now on Amazon for $195. And again, guys, you can find this knife cheaper in a few other locations if you're willing to hunt it out. But it's worth every bit of that. If this knife said Benchmade or Spyderco, and I'm not disparaging those brands, I'm just stating a fact, that, you know, this would be a $400 knife all day long in full titanium M390. So you can see there, I just quickly screwed it back together. Action, beautiful. Let me see, zero blade play. It's probably a little tighter than it needs to be, but perfectly centered and just absolutely gorgeous construction. Weight relieving. Oh, I didn't get the weight on that one. Weight relieving on both sides. So we got 3.4 essentially inches of blade and 4.768.9. So yeah, gorgeous knife. $195. Links will be in the description if you're interested. M390, grade 5 titanium. Absolutely amazing. And these are all numbered. This one happens to be number 21. All right, let's move over here to the mid-range knife, the KingFisher. Again, T8 construction. This one has got the pivot collars. Still 2-screw construction here. You can see hardware comes right out. Absolutely beautiful. Get the pocket clip off here. Milled titanium clip. You've got a recessed spot there in the shred carbon fiber where the clip sits. There we go. Let me pop that. There we go. Pivot collar. And then since I have this side off and it came off like this, I'm gonna, there we go. So here's the bearing races that are in every knife, all the tie knives. And you can see the little track that's cut in there for the ball bearings. They're actually thick and they are surface ground. So they're insured to be flat. You can, if you look at them really close, you can see the grind scratches in it. And then here is, feels like these are aluminum pivot collars potentially. It could be titanium, but they feel super light. So probably aluminum. And then here is the internals. So you can see your hardened steel insert. And you got the blade stop pin right there. Internal lock bar relief cut. And look at that, you got some steps in that. Really nicely done, just absolutely gorgeous. Now this doesn't have any weight relieving because they milled the external for the carbon fiber. So this tie in here is very, very thin. And actually that's what that step's for, because that lightened, or would be too thin right there otherwise. So really, really nicely done. Shred carbon fiber is absolutely beautiful. My artificial lighting isn't going to do it justice, but this flat ground blade, beautiful satin grinds on all of these knives. Oh, this one doesn't actually have a detent ball ramp, so I lied to you on that one. I thought it did, but you can see the detent track there. Action on this guy is absolutely fantastic. And here we are on the opposite side, show side, and you can see right there, KingFisher Tucson knives. This one happens to be number 55, and then this is Mazwan Mokhtar's maker's mark right there. So really, really cool. I love that they put that inside the knife. Just an amazing knife. Titanium backspacer. Gorgeous, gorgeous knife. And then here's your one-piece pivot barrel. Beautiful. So I'm going to slap this guy back together really quick, and I expect that it's going to just go back together as easily as the 177 did. So let's see. Throw the pivot collar down. The pivot screw. Okay, and then I'm just going to throw this pocket clip down. Like I said, this pocket clip sits in a recessed hole. Sorry about the time on this video, guys. I was really wanting to make this quick, but I really want to show you guys just how fantastic Tucson is today. I mean, they've really stepped up their game. And I'm really excited about the 165 for a budget knife. I mean, they've been doing beautiful stuff for a long time now, but these are just on another level. So, yeah, I got that way too tight. I can tell already. No blade play. It's still a little too tight, but yeah, perfectly centered. No blade play. Action's great. So, Tucson TS186 KingFisher. Great knife. Okay, the 165 oval budget knife. Let's pull this guy down real quick. And again, all T8 hardware. Actually, I'm going to pull it down from this side because it looks like... Oh, no, it looks like I can do this. Okay. So I think I should only have to pull this one clip screw. And then that lock bar side's going to lift off there, I think. Yep. All right. So you can see there we've got some weight relieving. And then these are the holes that would be there on the other version of this knife. It's got like a, yeah, just kind of a milled line with these speed holes through there. Holy cow. All right. So here's the blade. You can see there, detent ball ramp. Absolutely beautiful. Flat ground blade, satin finished. Still riding on ceramic bearings. Just amazing. For $45, this thing is gorgeous. Check this out. How about that for some weight relieving? Fantastic. So this one, because it is riding on stainless liners, you don't have the washers here. So this is going to ride on the stainless steel. You do have a ceramic detent ball, but you know, there's no need for the hardened steel insert because we're stainless steel liners here. But just absolutely beautiful. These knives do come completely soaked in oil. For those that don't know, I guess, Tucson is a Chinese brand, so they are coming from overseas. But amazing quality, amazing construction, materials. You know, I've got tons of videos out on Tucson, and so does several other channels. These knives have been tested, tons of them. Tucson is a reputable manufacturer that does just amazing work. And yeah, you're not paying inflated prices because you're going through, you know, some sort of dealer network or anything. So you can still buy these knives cheap. I mean, this one that I'm screwing together, guys, is $45. I mean, you can't beat that. You just can't. Not with these materials, you know, in 14C 28N, especially the way Tucson does it. You know, look at several people have done cut testing with Tucson 14C, and it's gorgeous. It's fantastic. It outperforms, you know, Riot M390. It outperforms just about, so you can see there, that screws into the barrel spacer, or the tube that runs across the back of the knife there. So, edge retention, full stainless steel, probably a little too tight, but perfectly centered. Zero blade play, it is too tight. No blade play. And look at the action. And this one isn't even really broke in yet. Like I said, I have this knife in titanium. That one certainly is broken. But, man, for 45 bucks, deep carry, G10, 14C, liner lock, gorgeous knife. And because it's black and white, you could dye this any color you wanted. And it's going to look awesome. You know, blue or red or whatever. It's going to be beautiful. Really, really awesome knife. Really excited about this this budget knife. All of them are fantastic, but the pocket clip is a huge upgrade on this knife here. So there you go, guys. We're almost at 30 minutes here. I didn't want this video to be that long, but these knives are worth your time and attention and your hard-earned money. They're absolutely beautiful. Like I said before, links are in the description for all three of these. You're looking at $195 for the 177, $106 for this sweet 186, and $45 for this version of the 165. So, and the other G10 model is also $45. So there's two versions of this knife for $45, and then there's a higher end one with M390 and titanium for $128. So all the links for all those will be in the description. Check them out. If you do purchase any of these knives, that does help support my channel, and I greatly appreciate it because they're Amazon affiliate links. You know, I try to put the best content out there that I can, or that I'm smart enough to, and I certainly appreciate all the time that you guys spend watching the stuff that I put out there. And we will have some interesting stuff coming up. I got some giveaways coming up, and actually have a knife sale coming up as well. So stay tuned for all that. And we actually have some how-to videos coming up really soon as well, probably in the next day or two. So anyway, stay tuned for all that stuff. Excited to see what the next few days has in store, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, and have a good one.